Picture someone staring at their savings app at 11 p.m. The number on the screen just crossed $100,000 for the first time. They expected fireworks, maybe tears. Instead, nothing. Just a quiet, unsettling thought. Is this it? Not because they did anything wrong, not because $100K isn't real money, not because they're ungrateful, just because nobody warned them about the psychology waiting on the other side of that number. Here's the thing. Most people treat their first $100K like a finish line, cross it, and finally feel secure. But the research tells a different story. The feeling of arrival never comes, because the goalpost moves the moment you reach it. And understanding why that happens is the whole game. My name is Alex, and I spend probably too much time reading behavioral finance studies instead of just, enjoying my money. But that obsession keeps turning up patterns worth sharing. And this one might be the most important. If you're someone who wants to understand the real psychology behind wealth, not just the math, hit subscribe. This channel is built for that kind of thinking. Think about it this way. Imagine a runner who's been told the finish line is at mile 10. They train for it, sacrifice for it, push through the pain. Then at mile 10, an official waves them through and points ahead. Actually, it's mile 20. Then 30. Financial milestones work exactly like this. The finish line keeps moving. And if you don't know that going in, every crossing feels like failure instead of progress. So let's walk through what actually happens psychologically as you chase that first $100 key and why it reshapes you in ways you didn't sign up for. Stage 1 is the grind phase. This is where most people live longest. You're saving, but the numbers grow slowly. Painfully slowly. Here's where it gets interesting. Below $100K, you're essentially fighting linear growth. Every dollar you add is just one more dollar. The math hasn't turned in your favor yet. Compounding needs mass to accelerate. Without it, saving feels like filling a bathtub with a teaspoon. Stage 2 is the identity shift. Somewhere around $50K, something changes in how you see yourself. You start making different decisions, not because you researched them, but because you now identify as someone who builds wealth. That identity is more powerful than any budget spreadsheet. Stage 3 is the crossing itself. You hit $100K. And here's the kicker. Studies consistently show that even self-made millionaires report ongoing financial anxiety, a persistent sense that real security is still just out of reach. The finish line moved again. You expected arrival, you got a new starting line. Meet Jordan and Casey. Same income, same starting point, both hit $100K around the same time. Jordan treats it as proof. Proof they've made it, proof they can relax. They loosen the habits that got them there. Casey treats it differently. Casey understands the goalpost moves, so instead of chasing the feeling of arrival, they chase the system. 5 years later, Jordan is still somewhere near $100K, lifestyle inflated to match. Casey is approaching $400K, not because they earned more, but because they never confused a milestone with a destination. Here's what nobody tells you. And there are a few of these worth sitting with. You'd think hitting $100K would make you feel more secure. Actually, for most people, it sharpens the anxiety. Now you have something real to lose. You'd think the hard part is earning the money. Actually, the hard part is not spending it when every social signal says you've earned the right to upgrade your life. You'd think young people plan ahead for retirement. Actually, people in their 20s believe they should start planning just 16 years before retirement. People in their 60s say 30 years wasn't enough. The finish line looked closer from far away, and you'd think crossing $100K is just a bigger version of crossing $10K. The crazy part is it isn't. The compounding mechanics genuinely change at scale. What was linear becomes exponential. The math actually bends in your favor. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but I just want to feel good when I hit the number. Is that so wrong? Here's the thing. It's not wrong at all. Celebrating milestones matters. The problem is only when the celebration hides the pattern, when you mistake a moving goalpost for a fixed destination and stop running because you think you've arrived. The people who actually build lasting wealth aren't the ones who finally feel like they've made it. They're the ones who made peace with the moving finish line. They stopped chasing the feeling of arrival and started finding meaning in the motion itself. That's the shift. Not a number, not a milestone. A different relationship with the goalposts. One where you see them for what they are, keep running anyway, and never confuse progress with permanence. If this reframed something for you, subscribe. New videos go up every week on the real psychology behind money and how to think about it more clearly. And if you know someone who just hit a big financial milestone and seems oddly flat about it, send them this. They'll know exactly why.